And my thought process is always, I want to lean on what I do well, and I want to have that security. Like one of the things when I consult with teams, I always talk about, your philosophical approach to the run game, and then also in critical situations to know what you are and who you are. And so, um, I always look at third down and short, and I always tell guys this. I go, in third down and short, I knew there were three possible plays that were coming in the huddle. So my mindset was either we're going to run 18-19 handoff, we're going to run 14-15 in a tight zone, or we're going to run QB sneak. And we were a conversion team, meaning if we got in a second down in one situation, we weren't a shot team. We weren't going deep down the field and see if we could get a 30-yard explosive. We were going to try to beat the snot out of you and make you have to get up off the ground and slow down your pass rush. And so we wanted to convert, and there was a method to the madness. And
Mhm.
sometimes coaches get away from it. Sometimes coaches can outthink themselves and say, hey, man, I've got the perfect remedy and the game plan, this, that, and the other. And, my advice to Kyle or anybody would be to be who you are. That's
Yeah.
the most important thing as a player for me. It's the most important thing. Let me do what I do. And, and so I think those are things that coaches sometimes outthink themselves, especially when you've got time. That's
Yeah.
another thing, and frankly,
Yeah.
Kyle's had time. He had, he had week 18 where they played, but they didn't really play, right? And then
Right.
you have the
Right.
bye week, and then you come into the Green Bay game, and you've done some side work on the potential of Detroit, the potential of the other two teams that you might face in a championship scenario. So I look at those things and say, hey man, if I'm gonna falter, I'm gonna falter being me.